I'm UFC heavyweight Stipe Miocic, and you listen to Talking Brawls.
Delighted to welcome on to Talking Brawls MMA.com. A man I caught up with in Las Vegas, Nevada. He didn't give too much away over there that he was going to be fighting on the UFC Dublin card, but he is against Stipe Miocic on October the 24th. Big Ben Rothwell. Ben, first of all, how are you? I believe I just woke you from your beauty sleep.
Yeah, I'm still waking up, but that's what you got to do. And a lot going on. I've been busy lately, so I'm kind of used to it. But I'm just it's cool to make some time for you today. And yeah, it's good to keep talking to the Irish. Just how excited I am to actually come there and throw down.
Yeah, the fans are looking forward to seeing you over here. Obviously, Ben, we spoke in Las Vegas at the UFC Media Day, and I do appreciate you taking the time out to come on the show. By getting this fight, you spoke about your desire to fight in Ireland, and to visit Ireland next summer. I think you said to me at fight week, you must be over the moon to fight in this card in front of this loud crowd as well. Yeah,
I mean, you and I were talking. I hadn't even been to the fight yet. You and I had talked in the middle of the week for UFC 189, and I was already overwhelmed by how Irish fans were and how they're backing Conor McGregor, and it's pretty amazing. And to be in the arena for UFC 189, I was just, I called it a week before. I said Conor was going to win. I mean, when you have a crowd like that behind you, it's just something different. And I was so excited to that night. I mean, I was gritting my teeth. I wanted to fight. I was going to beat someone's ass that night real bad. And I had to contain myself. And then I got the call not just a week later. It's like, yeah, you're going to fight in Ireland. So I was pretty stoked. And, it really adds. I mean, everybody knows I finish fights. I throw down hard. But the fight in front of a crowd that's going to be raging like the Irish fans will be is going to be something else. I think it's one of my best performances of my career.
And you spoke to me as well. You've Irish heritage. I think your grandfather was a Sullivan, and you told me he was an Irish hothead. Tell our listeners and the Irish fans a little bit about your Irish heritage, Ben.
So on my Rothwell side, actually my grandmother was a McDonald, and they were both. Her parents were immigrants, so I'm 50% Irish on that side. And then my mom's side, my father was also 100% Irish. He was an immigrant, and he was a Sullivan. And the funny stories we're always talked about is he owned his own bar. And my mom would tell me stories about how, my grandma had to contain him all the time because he'd be beating up the patrons. He'd get in fights all the time. He was really good at playing pool, and apparently he was really good at being a pool shark, and people would want to fight him after, and he would end up finishing that as well. And I guess he was known for his uppercuts. So uppercuts are something I've got a lot of knockouts with, so it's pretty funny living it up.
Brilliant stuff, and we know the energy and the love of the fans. I think you said it recently in your post-fight interview after Matt Miocic is very important to you, obviously with the Irish crowd as well, and you having that heritage, it's going to be extra special.
Yeah, I mean, the louder the crowd gets, the more involved they get, the harder I fight. I mean, that's true in all my fights. You look at any of my fights, and when the crowd's going like that, I fight so much better, and I make it exciting, I tell you that.
Are you going to stay around for a bit after the fight, see the sights around Ireland?
Yeah, we got to stay around for a couple of days, so
awesome.
I'm excited. I know, I gotta keep it together because I got some big fights that I want to get, but I at least got to have a Guinness on tap while I'm in Ireland.
Of course, we can organise that, man. No problem at all. Getting you a Guinness. Fighting in front of the crowd as well. You mentioned the noise levels. Is there extra mental preparation that you need to go into this environment?
No, it's just energy to me. I mean, I when I was younger, I think I've been doing this for 16 years, and I've watched a lot of different guys fight. I've watched different people be affected by different things. And one of the things that I seen early on in my career was a guy go, "Oh, there's a lot of people out there." Yeah. And I just could see fear in his eye. It was almost like the crowd made him scared. And I'd always made it back. I was like, I shook my head at the guy. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of people out there. I want more people out there. Mm. And the more, it seems the more eyes are on me and the louder and the crazier they get, the more excited I get. It's the exact opposite. I knew then when I watched that man act like that I was never going to be that way, and I'm sad if the arena's only half full. There's a problem, That's disappointing, So I'm all for it, and I expect Dublin to be sold out.
Yeah, no, I think the pre-sale tickets went on sale today, and I think they were gone in a matter of moments. So general sale tomorrow, so I expect to be sold out in a matter of minutes again, Ben. So I guarantee you there will not be an empty seat in the arena here in Dublin on the 24th. Speak to me about it. We talked about it again in Las Vegas. It was either Stipe Miocic, JDS. You wanted the Arlovsky fight. Stipe is one of the top guys as well, looking for that title shot. Assess Stipe as an opponent and your thoughts on him as a fighter.
I mean, I feel like I'm getting the fight that I asked for. I mean, Andre's actually having to fight the number 10 guy now. And, I'm number 6. I'm getting to fight the number 3 guy. So I'm actually getting to fight a guy ranked higher than Andre. Like I said, I feel in a way I'm getting what I want. And Junior Dos Santos, was supposed to be ready by December. If him and Overeem still fight, it's booked. But that is like another 2.5 months away from the date of this fight. And, I feel like Stipe is the kind of fight, the fight that I need to win. It's to prove everything. I think it's definitely, especially there's these with Andre and Mir, Overeem, and Dos Santos fighting. I think there's 3 huge heavyweight fights right here that are kind of all, we're all fighting around the title run. I think the winners of these 3, it's how they win and what dramatic fashion they win. It's really going to, separate themselves. And that's my goal is I'm not just going to win. I'm going to separate myself from the rest of these guys and prove that I'm everything that I know that I am. Everything that I'm saying is, it's already proven to me. So I just got to prove it to the rest of you, and I'm on my way to being the number 1.
We'll talk about your mindset in a moment, but by getting this fight, do you feel as though you've gained the respect you deserve from the UFC?
I don't think. The UFC's they gave me a contract. Back when, so they always, it is what it is. As far as whether the organization respects you or not, they're giving me fights. Yeah. So I don't think it's a respect. If they don't respect you, I think they'll cut you. So I don't think it's about that.
Or maybe the recognition then that you deserve.
Yeah, I just think it's getting the fights and winning. Beating Overeem, I think, was a huge step. Like that was. Yeah. Finally, everybody's like, "Wow, here's a ranked guy. He's a huge name." And I know that I'll beat these guys every day of the week. But it's 16 years of getting these fights to actually prove it. And Dmitry was no different. Yeah. Stipe, it's just these guys are. I'm gonna take the respect the way you're supposed to. I'm not gonna be giving it. Do I think some fighters are giving way too much respect without fights? Yeah, sure, that happens. Yeah. Absolutely, guys they're put on this huge pedestal. They're given tons of respect, and they haven't beat anybody. That happens. I don't want that. I do not want. I'm not interested. I'm not jealous of those people. Hey, God bless them. Good for them. Me, I want to earn my respect by beating the best in the world. And then you can't. It's only facts. I have beat the best. Now I am the best. That's the only way I want it. It's the only way that makes sense. And that's what's going to happen. And it's happening. Each one of these guys is giving me a step closer where I got to get to, and I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way.
Awesome. Mentioned the mindset. Obviously, you're having a lot more fun. You're being yourself, really, is what you said to me in Las Vegas. In your last 3 fights, you've really pulled back a level of consistency into your performance. Is that down to being yourself as well and implementing a different mindset?
I really do feel like I've held myself back in the past. I feel like I feel like every fighter, their own worst enemy is themselves, and that I think even affects me more so. I've held myself back, and in the 3rd round of my Brandon Vera fight, everybody sees me start dancing around, doing my thing, and moving my head. There was more to that than I just did some crazy movements and then ended him with a 12-hit combination. Something opened up inside of me in that fight, and I've never been the same since. And what that was is I realized in that 3rd round, in that second, that I can be as badass as I am. I don't have to hold back anymore. I don't have to keep being what I think everybody wants me to be. I'm just going to be myself, and I'm going to get on the microphone after the fight. I'm going to laugh crazy. I'm going to dance. I'm going to whoop someone's fucking ass. And I don't care if anybody likes it or not. I'm going to be me. This is me. And people think it's an act. Think whatever you want. I'm going to keep whipping people's asses, and you keep watching, and then we'll just decide at the end what's going on here.
Was it almost a moment of clarity, who you are as a person and as a fighter?
Something like that, yeah. Something happened in the third round. As in the first 2 rounds, I fought very, like, I don't know how to say. I was kind of like, you could just tell that I was not the same in the third round like it was in the first 2. In the first 2 rounds, it was just like the old Ben, like doing the same things, just stuck on the train tracks. You know, very. I just don't know how to explain it. Like just kind of doing the same shit. And then the third round, it's like all the stuff that I do in training
came together.
And I guess I just kind of like, like you said, a moment of clarity. It wasn't just a moment of myself. It was like I could see every single thing he's doing.
Brilliant.
I know I've slowed the speed. I went from, instead of feeling like 100 miles an hour, every time you get into the ring, it feels like 100 miles an hour. Dude, I dropped it down to 10 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I can see everything. I see everything my opponents are doing now.
So
I feel like I'm cheating. They have no chance. They have no chance whatsoever. I'm the biggest heavyweight, and I'm going to get a hold of them. And whether I'm going to choke them or submit them, or, you know, as we know, I'm going to lay my fists on them. Yeah. Something of that is going to happen to them, and that's going to be it. That's it. It's over.
Do you think?
And I feel I can't be stopped.
Do you think we've seen the revival of the older generation of heavyweights, especially? Do you think in the heavyweight division it's more crucial, you know, to have that experience in your bag? You know, the guile you have, as you said there, that you saw it against Vera, and the KO power. Is that the reason why the more experienced and older guys are making this resurgence in their careers the older they become?
I think that also has something to do with strength and speed. And they become less about, like, I think the heavyweight division is showing how young the sport still is. Like, the sport is a baby.
Yeah.
And strength and speed, I think, many times are way overemphasized in training camps. I think they have guys, they have all these coaches around them telling them to do this and telling them to do that and run around and do all this crazy shit. And you know what? None of that shit's going to help you win a fight because it's skills. And I think the heavyweights, we're all older. All of us are now in a situation where we have to train smart. Our bodies are bigger. We're older. We can't just go out and jump fucking 8-foot boxes and run all these fucking hills and do all this crazy shit. No, you don't do that.
Yeah.
You train yourself enough, and we work on knocking someone out or submitting somebody. You work on being a martial artist, and I think we're the oldest. We're the ones that have been doing this the longest. And for heavyweights and for young heavyweights, this is very, very hard. It's very hard to learn this, and it is very hard to get through the training. Yeah. And we're the older bunch of heavyweights. We're the ones that kind of figured out how to do it. So as you can see, it's like, young heavyweights struggle extremely in this sport because they don't realize they mentally can't handle the training, the day in, the day in grind. Hey, they can do it for a couple of years, sure. I'm talking about if you look at us, these guys, we've been doing this for 16 years. You know what I mean? It's like it is something to it, and it's a lot about martial arts. It's not about the physical aspects like in football and basketball, where it's all about, you know, physical, like how much you can run, and it's more football. I mean, basketball is a lot of skill, but football, it's a lot of, you got to have strength, you got to have speed, you have to. And in our sport, it's just not true.
Yeah.
And I think the heavyweight division is showing that. It's showing the rest of the divisions that, you know, you got to be a martial artist. You got to have skills.
Mm. And we've obviously a big fight this weekend coming up, relevant obviously to you and Stipe as well. With Frank Mir and Arlov. So you mentioned it early on a couple of minutes ago. How do you see that one playing out? Because that's obviously a very pivotal fight in the heavyweight division also.
Oh man, I mean, that fight can go either way. There's no doubt. Frank Mir has all the power still left. He has all this power, and he lands a shot on Andre. And I mean, you've seen Andre. Andre flopped down like a fish from a wobbly Travis Brown hook, and it dropped Andre. So Andre's definitely has got to keep his offense high and his defense even higher. He can't get hit, but Andre can also mix it up on the feet and avoid the takedowns, and you know, he can win the fight too. But definitely either guy's fight.
Yeah, it's a smashing fight to look forward to. Just a couple more questions before we let you go. Really do appreciate the time. Who's going to be with you then in Dublin? Who's going to be cornering you?
My Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor his name's Luis Claudio. He's Hickson Gracie's second black belt ever. And he won Worlds in 2012. Just to tell you a little bit about him, but he's extremely badass, and he's responsible for my ground game, and he's the reason that I hit Matt Mitrione with a go-go choke.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And
awesome.
He's a lot to do with my confidence is so high. I don't care where the fight goes. Wherever the fight goes, I'm going to win. And I'm 100% confident in that, and I think that's something I have over a lot of the heavyweights.
And where do you see the fight going against Stipe Miocic? What sort of fight do you see playing out in your mind?
Oh, one way or another, it's going to the ground. Him hitting the ground. I mean, that's it.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. So that's how the fight's going to end up.
And one more question. It's been rumored today that Fedor's another one of the old guard is going to be coming back to the UFC. Thoughts on that? That he's very close to signing.
There's rumors. I hear he's going to fight Crow Cop. I mean, that should be a good fight. Two old guard guys going at it, kind of see where they're both at. I mean, look at Crow Cop. He's making a comeback. Hey, man, look at all the heavyweight division. You can't count on anybody out now. So Fedor's going to be back in the mix, and we'll see what's up. And, he wins a couple fights and moves his way up. Yeah, it'd be an honor to fight a legend.
Brilliant stuff,
Ben. Because I'll fight. I mean, if you don't know this about me, UFC's kind of, they shake their head all the time because, like, who you want to fight? Like, the toughest, best guy you think you got. And that's it. You know what I mean? That's why I am who I am and where I'm at, because I fight. I'm asking to fight the best dudes. So not everybody's like that. A lot of people want to pick and choose their fights, and they're cowards. They really are, or they're just too young in their career, and they still need time to get better, and they don't want to fight a guy that's got 10 years more of experience. Hey, that is an issue. The guy that has 10 years more of experience, you should be worried about him. He does have a serious advantage over you. So I think there's a lot of dues paid in the sport, and my dues have been paid, and now I have the ability to fight anyone on the planet. I will beat any man inside of that octagon. I will beat any man on this planet, and that's just when you know you are what you are. This is what you sound like. So
there we have
that's how I feel, my man, and I am ready to bring it in Ireland. I am ready to make the crowd lose their mind, and I want to hear something like I've never heard in my life, and I think Ireland can give it to me.
I guarantee you it will. If it's anything to it was like in Las Vegas, or indeed here last summer in the O2 Arena, it's going to be absolutely crazy. Ben, I really do appreciate the time. Is anyone you'd like to give a shout out to any sponsors, anyone like that you'd like to plug?
I just want to, that's it. I mean, we all know that UFC has us all wearing Reebok, so as far as sponsors go. If you want to know a little bit more about me, check out RothwellMMA.com. It's my gym here in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and it's got a little bit of there's a bio page you can look up. You can read about my past and read a little bit more about me and see the guys that I train in my team. And that's it. And if you see me in Dublin walking around, do not hesitate to come up and ask for a picture and come see me, because that's what I'm here for.
Ben, you're an absolute gentleman, and I really do appreciate the time and look forward to seeing you over here in sunny Dublin, Ireland.